All right, I have John Douma back on the show now, who will be fighting next at CES 65 on November the 7th. John, how are you?
Doing good, man. Doing real good.
Now, before we dive into the MMA talk, we got to start with something more important here, and that's you recently got engaged. I have to say congratulations to you, man.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Really appreciate that.
Congratulations there. Last time we saw you compete was obviously in April, a split decision win over Will Smith at Bellator 256. Were you confident that you did enough to get the job done? I know anytime you go to the judges and it's a close fight, you just never really know nowadays.
Yeah. No, that one was definitely close. Especially when I heard it was a split decision. It's kind of hard, like when you're in there, kind of hard to remember like things that happen like right away, right off the bat. So like I looked at my coaches' faces, I looked at everybody's face. I was like, I don't really know when it was happening. Looking back on it, I agree with the judge's decision. I think I won, but at that time it was definitely a scary moment.
What are some of the things, looking back at the fight now, you feel like maybe you could have done differently to assure that you got maybe even a UD win?
I think just being more aggressive. Sometimes I get like too comfortable and too confident that guys are gonna make mistakes and I'm gonna be able to capitalize them. I think I gotta like force guys into making those mistakes, and I think that'll be something I've obviously been working on since then.
Good to hear. Now, obviously, that was headlined by Bader and Machida, a couple of big-time names in the sport. What is that like for you? Because you're still relatively newer in your professional career, right? So when you're on an undercard of guys of that magnitude, those big names, what is that like for you? Are you still does it still blow your mind?
Yeah. It blew my mind. I mean, since the first time I went to Bellator, second time was a big one too. I had Rory McDonald and Douglas Lima fighting in the winner of that $1 million contract. So it was, just to see those guys and guys I've looked up to since the start. It's definitely like, I don't know if I'll ever get used to that.
Is there one guy like, a fighter maybe from when you were younger that you really look up to, that if you saw it'd be a little, maybe like fanboying out a little bit? For me, it'd be GSP all day, every day. Do you have that fighter?
Probably Forrest Griffin. I saw Forrest Griffin, but I didn't get the chance to talk to him. But yeah, probably him. He's the like reading his book really was like one of the reasons that got me into doing MMA, and so I guess that would be like the number one.
What was it about his book that really got you into MMA?
I don't know. I just like I was a wrestler at the time, so I could connect with a lot of the things that he was saying. Just like the lifestyle about it, it just really kind of drew my interest.
Do you feel like, now that you fought for Bellator a couple of times, was it a little bit easier the second time around? Are your nerves starting to kind of calm down a little bit and it's just becoming more commonplace regardless of the promotion?
Yeah, for sure. I think every time you fight, you get, you take a little bit back with you, and makes the next one a little bit easier. Not to say that, it's easy at all, and it'll be easy this time around, but, I feel like you get a little bit more used to the process.
Gotcha. Now, if I'm not mistaken, the last time I actually spoke to you was in person down there for Bellator, right before you fought Jarrell Lugo, and that unfortunately was a loss all the way back in October of 2019. Looking back at that fight now obviously that guy's a stud. I mean, he's clearly doing some big things. What are some of the things that you've learned from that fight and grown? Like, how have you become a better mixed martial artist from that time period to where you're at right now?
Yeah, I mean, I think really the biggest thing is like maturing in the sport and maturing as an athlete. Like, I started this when I was 18 years old, so as this sport grows, I'm growing with it. So, I think just, there's just a lot to work on, especially back then. I was like 22 or 23 when I had that fight. So, as I, grow in the sport, I think, my ideas are changing about it. My ideas about different things and different positions and stuff like that. Everything's kind of evolving.
Have your goals changed at all, or have they just gotten bigger?
It's gotten bigger, I guess. I mean, they've always been. My goals are as big as they can be. You got to shoot for the moon in this, or else there's no reason to do it. So, I mean, really, from the beginning, my goals have kind of stayed the same.
Tell me that balance right now between work and training. I assume you're still working a little bit to pay the bills. So how is that balance like?
It's tough. It's tough, especially what I do. I'm a diesel mechanic on marine engines and marine hydraulics. Yeah, it's definitely a grind, but I love what I do, and and fighting, and I wouldn't give it up, just because I'm a little tired.
What is that day normally like? So I assume you got to be there early. You work an 8-hour day. You come home, eat, maybe spend a little time with the family, and then you're off to training. And then you're probably not getting in bed till after 9 o'clock or so. Is that pretty accurate?
Yeah, that's it. I'm out of the door at 6 o'clock, 6:30. Get home. After work, do an 8-hour day. Battle traffic on the way home. Get home. Take a shower, eat what I can, and pretty much right off to the gym. I usually have like a half-hour window, and then I'm off to the gym until I don't get home like 9:30, 10 some nights, and then just go right to sleep because I'm so exhausted, and do it the next day.
Man, oh man, I imagine your fiance is very supporting of what you're doing. Is that, it must be a little bit of a strain on being able to spend time with her though?
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's we make up for it. I'll take a day off in the week, and we'll just spend time together. But she's good. I was fighting way before I met her, so she kind of accepted this lifestyle, and she knows the drill.
Very good, man. Tell me, man, how's this camp been thus far? Who are some of your main training partners? Has that changed at all, or has it been pretty much par for the course?
Not much has changed. Not since my last fight. Started working with Victor Fagnan with boxing, so he's a New England legend around here. So he's been really helping me sharpen up with that, and then training partners have pretty much been consistent. Nate Andrews, Dion Rubio, Tyrene De Silva, head coaches Pete Jeffries. So I feel like I got the right. I've always had the right people around me, and the right team. So, I'm not going to switch that up.
Speaking of the right team, you're rep by TopGame Management and Tyson Chartier. Obviously, having someone like him in your corner is huge, man, because he's really big, not just in the New England area, but just in the sport in general. Tell me a little bit about what that's like, knowing that you have him, to go to bat for you to get these fights, and just really him in your corner.
Yeah, I can't say enough about Tyson and TopGame. For reasons like you said, he's got those connections. He has those phone numbers. He can talk to the guys that I need to talk to get to the places where I want to be. And then other than that, like he's a really good friend. I can go to Tyson for anything. It doesn't feel like a business relationship between me and Tyson. It feels more like I'm just working with my buddy. So it's nice. It's real comfortable over there. I'm really happy with that team.
For sure. Yeah. Shout out to Tyson, one of the best in the business, man. Now we're, a little under a month away. It'll be here before you know it. It was like 3 weeks now. So what's the weight at, and any thought process in maybe changing weight classes at all down the line, or are you pretty much set with where you're at?
Nah, weight's good. I'm not going to say exactly what, but it's good. Nah, I think I'm pretty comfortable at 135. I think, sometimes the cut's hard, but I've done this quite a few times now, so I'm really starting to dial it down, and it really does get easier each time. And I think I just have the body type for a 135, or maybe as I get older I'll go up to 145 when when I want to kill myself every time I got to fight. But for right now, I think I'm going to stay here for most of my career.
All right, so CES 65 again, November the 7th. Who will be in your corner come fight night?
Coach Pete, Coach Vic, and third one, possibly one of my teammates, possibly Tyson. Not sure yet, but as long as I got Vic and Pete in my corner, I can conquer the world.
How do you like this matchup? Tristan Lindi, he's 2-2. I imagine you'd be the betting favorite going into it, but just stylistically, what do you think of this matchup?
Yeah, I like it. I'm excited. All three of my last opponents have been pretty much like exactly the same, like cookie cutter, same body type, same style, same everything. Um, so it'll be nice kind of going into something where somebody might try to do something a little different and have a little different body type. And just gain more of that experience that I need.
What's your prediction? How do you see this ending? You hoping to get a finish here?
Yeah, I don't like to make predictions, but I'm pretty confident in the finish. Um, Feeling pretty good about this one.
All right. And as far as activity goes moving forward, can we expect to see you fight again before the end of the year, or are we looking like 2022 maybe?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to count my chickens before they hatch, but hopefully if I come out of this unscathed, but I'd like to really start making that push hard. Get up to the higher levels. So yeah, if the opportunity presents itself, I'll definitely open a fight before the end of the year.
Very good. John Douma meets Tristan Lindi on November the 7th at CES 65. John, always a pleasure to talk to you, my man. Before I let you go, tell people where to follow you on social media, and if you have anyone to thank, the floor is yours.
Yeah, you can follow me at John Douma on Instagram. Pretty much all I'm on, really. And then just big thanks to the guys at Triforce, all my training partners. You guys all know who you are, and Tyson and everybody at TopGame. Huge help with those guys. Everybody at Lozon's have been getting great rounds over there. Yeah, that's about it.